Howdy all, I'm Adam the Renaissance Nerd, and welcome to my review of The Acolyte, Episode 8. It's over, it's done, and I'm going to be honest with you, I think this truly is the worst of Disney Star Wars. I know that's a tall order with the sequel trilogy, Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, Book of Boba Fett, The Mandalorian. I know that that's a tall order to put in front of you, but just follow me, walk with me, and I'm going to try and explain myself as we go forward in this review. This entire series is an active attack on George Lucas Star Wars, on the things George Lucas believes, on the lore that he set up and the lore that was continued through the expanded universe. They actively destroy it, and they think they're clever in doing it. They think they're witty with certain lines, certain scenes, certain cameos, which I know you already know are out there. You all already know they're there, but I'm going to wait till we get to them in the review proper. They think they're clever, but they're not. These people can't write their ways out of wet paper bags. They can't choreograph a scene to save their lives. They can't have these people on the screen act to save their lives. Nobody in this show can act. Nobody. It's a disaster. Amanda Stenberg has one expression. Oh, no, two. Stone face or crying. That's it. That's all she's got. And the rest of them can't act either. I'm sorry. Nobody can act. Nobody can do the choreography. Nobody can tell a proper story in this whole thing. And in the end, you have hate. Hate for the idea of good versus evil. They want you to fall in love with the villains. They think they've got a Godfather situation on their hands where even though we know Michael Corleone is a bad man, he was once a good man who got dragged into doing horrible things to protect himself and his family, and he knows he's bad. The villains in this show are horrible. They have no real story. They have no depth, and their motivations flip like the flip of a coin. No better way to put it. It's boop. You never know what you're going to get when it lands because there's no true motivation in their character development. They're shallow. They're empty. Osha and May are retarded. Darth Zipperface is a retard. All Soul can do at this point is go, May! 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 That's all he can do. Yell May and then try to have broken English explanations of events that we've already seen. This show is terrible. And now we have to actually show you why. So let's get into it. The Acolyte Episode 8. Thank God this is done.
See you in hell, Jedi.
So let's pretend that the flashback episode never happened and the events of the 2 weeks ago immediately pick up wherever they were, and everybody's now going to be literally going to the same place and use the bestest ever fast travel to get there. So we've got Osha still wearing the helmet, going, doing her best Darth Vader impression she can. Oh, don't worry, she does an even better Vadering later on. And now here comes Darth Zipperface to try and take the helmet off, going, all right, she put it on. I'm so good at what I do. And he goes to try and take it off her, but suddenly she activates the lesbian witch mind F power, and he's trapped in a delusion. How? Why? She never learned how to do that power. In all the flashbacks, she doesn't know how to do that power. That how come she can suddenly do it now? Nope, don't worry. Don't think, just consume. Be a good stan. Okay, he's going to fight through it because he's so awesome and thirsty. I'm sorry, thirst trap. He's not, well, maybe he is thirsty for her. I don't know. Anyway, so he's going to take the helmet off, and they're going to be both going, oh my God, oh, was it good for you? That's what it's like, baby. Was it good for you? So now they're going to have a conversation about how May is going to be heading to Bendock with Master Squid Game, and only Osha knows how to get there, or she doesn't tell him where they're going. Only she knows. So now she's going to bargain with her captor to go to the place where they all need to go get May. Okay? Fine. We'll roll with it just because we got to keep the story moving. Now, back on Master Squid Game's ship, let's pretend, as I said, that he told the entire story to May, even though there's no indication that he actually did. because they're going to have a back and forth while she's strapped to the table. Now, I'm going to say, I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. Master Squid Game is possibly the worst Jedi ever. They've painted him as a complete and total moron because he strapped her down but left a little vibrator droid within hand's reach of her boundings. She's still bound, but her hand can reach the vibrator droid. So she does that. So while she's basically stringing him along to talk some more, she's using the vibrator droid to pick the locks, to blindly pick the lock. Okay, sure. Fine. Let's go with it again. So while she's picking the lock, she's asking him, "You killed my mom. Why'd you do that?" It's this whole retarded back and forth where he is explaining himself and she's yelling at him for being a murderer. Now, I didn't spend a lot of time on this last week, so I will say it now, because last week I was really into the whole Leslie Headland perspective. That's how I was playing it up last week. So I will say now that Jedi really didn't do anything wrong based upon what they saw last week. And Master Squid Game is continuing to push that aspect. I saw children in danger. I saw giant smoke force monster. I attacked. Okay. But I still don't believe I did anything wrong. She's going to keep yelling at him, "You murdered my mom." He's going to try and tell her that your mom was playing with powers she doesn't understand. And she created Osha and May into a single consciousness and split. And he's trying to tell her that, but then she's going to break free and she's going to tase him with the vibrator. And he's going to be stunned. And she's going to run. And she's going to run down the hall, and he's going to chase her yelling, "May! May!" Get used to that for the episode. And then she has the gall to stop and close the escape ship hatch and say, "See you in hell, Jedi." Yeah, let's steal a line from Han Solo in Empire Strikes Back. Then I'll see you in hell. Yeah, let's just take that. You're not clever. It's an insult. It's poorly delivered. The monotone, emotionless, flat look from Amandla Stenberg. "See you in hell, Jedi." It's just, you know what? See this show in hell. See this show in hell. So she's gonna escape, and now let's get some more ludicrous shit. We now have an intense space chase through the rings of the moons. But before we get to that, I gotta show you this. Who thought this was a good look on Amandla Stenberg? She puts the helmet on, and if you watch it in the scene, she just goes, it's literally propped on her head just so you could make sure you see all the braids. It's the silliest goddamn thing. Who thought this was a good look? Who let this through the editing bay thinking this is a good look? Do what every other goddamn show in history does with a chick who has a lot of hair. You cut away, and then she has the helmet full on her head and seeing no hair. Every other show in history does that, but no. Disney Star Wars, Leslie Headland and her band of merry morons, they're going to make sure you see her just boop, the helmet right over the head and the hair, so it's just kind of sitting there, looking like a bobblehead. This is ridiculous. It's stupid, but they want you to take this seriously, so we're not going to. They have a very unserious chase through the rings of the moons, and Master Squid Game, he's going to get her. He's got a bigger, faster ship. He's going to get her again, but then here's something completely ridiculous. For some reason, Basil is going to just damage the Master Squid Game ship so that he can't get her. Why? The last time we were in the present in this series, Basil was attacking May and humping her leg and fighting with her because he hated her and he knew she wasn't Osha. What's going on? Where is the motivation for this? Because later on, he's going to help the Jedi again. Why did he do this? We never find this out. Why does Basil damage the ship so Master Squid Game can't get May and her ill-fitted helmet? I don't get this. The show doesn't even bother to try and explain it. They just push forward, having May somehow get away because she's going to get bumped by the ship in the process, and she's going to tumble through the rings of the moon, and then do a nice, graceful stone skip crash landing on Bendok. So if you see the clip, you go watch it. She goes boop, 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 and she just slides. She doesn't crash. She just kind of skips and lands in a nice easy thing. She should be toast. She should be blown up, but nope. The power of the Force, because it's female. She survives it perfectly fine. Anyway, we now have to go to Coruscant and be reminded that it's Coruscant. They keep telling us Coruscant. You gotta go there, and here's British or gay. He's gonna go back to Master Leslie Headland's wife and tell her she's got a visitor, and she's not too happy because it's the senator that was referenced last time we saw her on Coruscant. She goes in there, and now this is what I've been talking about, what everybody's been talking about, the open hate and disrespect and warping of the lore when it comes to the Jedi. People who really understand Star Wars already know the Jedi aren't perfect. Their dogmatic rigidness of not evolving, of sticking to the Jedi code, even though it worked for all those millennia, 20,000 years plus, it worked. It eventually, the cracks showed and it broke because you had to evolve. You couldn't deny your emotions. You couldn't deny everything that's involved in being human or humanoid or sentient being. You couldn't do it. But real Star Wars fans understand that. We get that. The Jedi were flawed. But no, this show has to tell you the Jedi are bad. They're inherently bad. And the Senator is the voice through which you're going to hear it. And he gives a speech. Now, here it is, slightly edited so that I can get it across the algorithm bots. I have to edit these things properly. But it has his points. I just cut out Master Leslie Headland's wife comment. But his points are all that matter. So listen to this, and then we'll continue.
I think the Jedi are a massive system of unchecked power, posing as a religion. A delusional cult that claims to control the uncontrollable. Your emotions. You project an image of goodness and restraint. But it's only a matter of time before one of you snaps. And when, not if that happens, who will be strong enough to stop him?
Who can stop him? Take that whole little statement in, that whole little misguided lecture that we get. Not from this dude, from Leslie Headland, from Disney Star Wars. The Jedi are bad. It's a certain point of view, the Jedi are bad. They're inherently going to be corruptible because they're trying to control things they cannot control. They're trying to control emotion. This is not something that is true. Here's the thing. You got to understand. The Jedi existed for over 20,000 years. They were founded 25,000 years ago, and when the Republic was formed, they offered their services as peacekeepers. If you go through actual Star Wars lore and history, yes, there are many times where Jedi fell. The Sith were born out of Jedi who did not want to follow the Jedi code. It's already happened. You see, this is what I'm talking about when we bring up the idea of fake fans, of people who don't understand and people who are trying to then warp the perspective. The Jedi have already had many instances in their thousands of years of history where Jedi have fallen. Revan, Malak, Exar Kun, the Keldroma brothers, all of it. They all fell. Some of them were redeemed, and they fought back against those who remained fallen, who remained dark side, who actually became Sith. That happened. But it did happen. It's already happened. And when Anakin falls and leads to the destruction of the old Jedi Order, it's just, it already happened. The Jedi have collapsed on multiple occasions throughout their history and been rebuilt. It's not a new concept. But what the concept here is that they want you to dwell on is the Jedi are bad. They're fallible. They're this and that. They aren't perfect. We already know that. Real Star Wars fans know and understand that. We comprehend that the code, the rigidity of it, is the downfall of the Jedi, that they can't maintain it. And that's why Luke's actual new Jedi Order was better, because he embraced the good emotions. He didn't make his Jedi suppress that. He allowed that to happen. Now, of course, that still led to many problems, but they were able to deal with it because they were evolving, changing, Leslie Headland, Disney Star Wars, they want you to think that the Jedi are bad because they control their emotions. Full stop. No, there's no nuance. There's nothing. They want you to have examples of guys like Master Squid Game who give in too far. Those like Master Leslie Headland's wife who suppress it so much they become corrupt. That's what they want you to focus on. What they don't focus on the fact that is in the actual history, the actual lore, it's already happened. It's been done many, many times as a story. And the Jedi always triumph as the good guys. But in this story, they remain bad guys because they're fallible. And that's just their final bad trait. They're wrong. So that's what's the matter with that whole statement. And that statement is how Disney Star Wars and Leslie Headland feel. They hate the Jedi. They want you to hate the Jedi. They want you to see that they're a kooky religion. That's what they want. Let's move on with this crap show then, shall we? So back on the unknown planet, Osha and Darth Zipperface are getting ready to leave, and we get one massively big problem in this scene, and the other one is just the bad dialogue, bad storytelling of Leslie Headland and her merry band of idiots. They're trying to leave, and he keeps trying to turn her to his side. Hey, are you sure you don't want to work with me? I can train you. She goes, no, I'm fine. I just need to stop my sister. And here's the deal. I'm going to lead you to her, and you're going to help me. He goes, well, why am I going to help you? What makes you think I'm going to keep my promises? Because you kept your promise to May. That's why. So I trust you. Okay? And they shake hands. And he leaves it at that. And they're going to leave. And as they leave, you see a little opening of the cave. A cave. Maybe not their cave, but a cave. And a presence is there. A hand grasps the edge of the cave door. And as it pans out, boom! Darth Plagueis! All right, let's open this up and let's get into it. Darth Plagueis. Now, I am not going to talk about whether or not he should even be here or not. Darth Plagueis is an alien species. His origins dictate that he is very long-lived. Fine. But do you understand the implications of this? The damage it does to his character. Let's just go for a second. And this is me saying this, playing devil's advocate. Let's just say that the book, Darth Plagueis, isn't canon, which it is. Darth Plagueis, the book, doesn't happen, and all we have to go on is Palpatine's speech to Anakin in Revenge of the Sith, when he's talking about Darth Plagueis and his desire to create life with the Force. You now have to understand that by the time we get to the end of this episode, in the end of this series, and our villains return to Unknown Planet, and I know I'm skipping ahead, but I have to do it now because we're talking about Darth Plagueis and how much damage this does. You must now realize that Darth Plagueis' desire to change the Force, to alter the Force and create life through the Force, and therefore Palpatine's motivations to create life in the Force, to seek out immortality, stems from lesbian witches. Leslie Headland and Disney Star Wars have now made it so that in Disney Star Wars canon, Darth Plagueis, one of the deadliest Sith in Sith history, he got his inspiration to create life in the Force from lesbian witches. Do you understand the damage that does? Do you understand the hamstringing, the undercutting you do to George Lucas's story by injecting all of this in and making it the canon? Do you get that? The stands don't. They're out there going, see, look, Plagueis, shut up, you were wrong. Wrong about what? Wrong about what? This makes it worse. Not only the fact that he shouldn't even. We're not talking about his long-livedness, his age. He shouldn't be a Sith Lord at this point. It shouldn't even be Darth Tenebris. It should be some other couple Sith Lords at this point. You're skipping over other Sith Lords to get a cameo of Darth Plagueis because they know they'll get the seals clapping for the dead fish. They know that that's where this is going, and that's all the stands are going to need. All they need to see is Darth Plagueis, and then say, "Oh, you angry nerds! Look at that, you haters! Look, there's Darth Plagueis. Why aren't you happy?" We're not happy because you just ruined the lore. You ruined the story. You undermined George Lucas to get your cameo in. Because I'll guarantee you, Leslie Headland doesn't know what to do with Darth Plagueis. She has no idea. And at the same time, it therefore asks the questions, what is he doing there? Do you even also realize the implications of what they're setting up? Darth Plagueis may not even be Darth Plagueis in this moment. He may end up being the acolyte to Osha after she's done being an apprentice to Darth Zipperface. Do you realize that they're maybe setting up that Osha is the ultimate mastermind that leads to freaking Palpatine? Do you understand this? That is why this is broken. Let's move on. Let's move on to the rest of this garbage. Now, everybody's heading to Bendock because Master Leslie Headland's wife, while sending out a communication to a certain special somebody who's also going to get a cameo at the end of the episode, she's saying, I need to see him. Oh, don't worry, it's difficult, but we'll make it happen. Here comes British or Gay again. He's going to tell her that Master Squid Games turned his transponder back on. Why he turned it off in the first place, we don't really know. That's never really explained. Oh, it's sort of explained, but it's retarded. It's really dumb the way he does it. So now Master Leslie Headland's wife is going to get together a small army of retarded Jedi, and they're going to head out and go to Bendock as well. So everybody is fast traveling to Bendock at the same time. So we got Master Leslie Headland's wife and her band are going to fast travel from Coruscant to Bendock, and you've got Osha and Darth Zipperface are going to fast travel from unknown planet, we don't even know where it is, to get to Bendock at the same time so that everybody can be in the same place where they need to so the story can have its pathetic reveals. So you got Master Squid Game on Bendock. He's landed now, and now he can use the Force to sense shit. Now it works. So he's going to sense where everybody is. He's going to go to Vagina Mountain. He's going to get in there and wander around and go, me! 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 That's what he's going to do. And then May's going to climb up out of the pit that she fell into when he let her die, or apparently die, back then. And we'll get to that stupidity and lack of clever writing later. She's going to climb up and now wander around the Vagina Complex herself until she arrives in the room where she set everything on fire and told Osha, I'll kill you! Osha and Darth Zipperface will now arrive at the perfect same time in front of Vagina Mountain, where Darth Zipperface is going to say, oh, it's broken. How do we get in? Osha's going to go, this is the only way in unless you want to climb. And then he's going to poof vanish and apparently climb. So Osha is left to repair the elevator door. Okay, let's get the Wayback Machine. Last week in the flashback episode, we saw Kelnaka repair it and open it up. So it should still be repaired. Oh, no, it shouldn't be, because it's been left open to the elements for 16 years. Fine, it's broken. But now Osha is going to repair it with her two itty-bitty little fingers. She's going to repair it all by herself to get that door open so she can go in and wander around and not run into anybody else until she arrives at the burned out room so she can have a fight with May. But we're not there yet. So during this time, Master Squid Game is going to run into Darth Zipperface, and they're going to end up in another pathetically choreographed lightsaber duel where they are literally just swinging the sticks to hit. You watch the choreography. One will swing downward, the other one will swing downward so that their sabers can hit. One will swing like this, the other one will swing like that so we can just hit. There's no actual attack, parry, repost action going on here. So much so that at one point, if you get to the right moment, you see them both literally go like this so they can block each other at the close to the top of the emitters so they can have a little push back and forth. There's even a moment where some weirdness happens and they've each got their sabers inside each other. Like, here's Master Squid, here's Darth Zipperface, and Master Squid Game somehow gets his saber behind him, and they're now reverse pushing on each other. It's terrible, it's stupid or retarded, and it culminates in a moment like this. You can't make this shit up. You saw it for yourself. That has to be some of the lamest choreography I've ever seen. Let's just slow-mo dive in. It's stupid. And it's the tip of the iceberg for how bad it all gets. They're going to keep fighting in the courtyard while May and Osha are going to fight in the burnt out room because they're going to confront each other and have a really stupid back and forth of, you set a fire on everything, but they killed our mother. You set a fire on everything. You're evil, but they killed our mother. You set a fire. It back and forth. Same shit over and over again with some of the worst acting a man Stenberg has done to date. They're eventually culminates in Osha screaming like a banshee and flying into attack May, and they have some of the worst kung fu you're ever going to see. It's terrible. It's either a Manly Stenberg and a stunt double or two stunt doubles with a CGI Manly Stenberg face on there. Either way, it's not good. And they try and choreograph it into the whole fight going out in the courtyard where at one point Darth Zipperface is going to break out both lightsabers. And mind you, he breaks out both. He's got the regular and he got the short saber, the Shodel. And he's going to be fighting Master Squid Game with that and with a bunch of extra stuff, bunch of stupid throwing them, and I'm going to force wave it away. It's all stupid. And it culminates with Master Squid Game slicing off the top of the bigger lightsaber. And therefore, Darth Zipperface has to discard it. Okay, he had the short saber still. He still had the short saber. You could still fight with a lightsaber. Yes, you're at a disadvantage. But you still have a weapon. But nope, story has to move along. So he's going to forget that he still has a lightsaber to use. Because those are two separate lightsaber beams. That means two separate kyber crystals. But he has to toss it away because now we have to have the big setup and the big confrontation. Here's where everything really gets bad. So Master Squid Game has him at his mercy. Osha and May have ceased fighting at this point where May has run away, and May arrives on the scene to kick Master Squid Game's ass. She just swoops in, and she takes him out at the knee, disarms him, and makes distance. Gets some distance between them, enough distance that she has the lightsaber. And Darth Zipperface actually has the gall. The writers actually had the gall to have him say, "That's good, May. Give in to your anger. Strike him down. Good. Give in to your anger. Strike him down, and your journey to the dark side shall be complete." They actually had the nerve to have a moment like that to mirror Return of the Jedi throne room scene. They actually tried to do it, and it fails because nobody in this show can act, and it's just a stupid situation to have because then May is going to throw the lightsaber away. We see her throw it away. We see it get damaged, bouncing off a piece of rubble. You see right here, the emitter is broken. The kyber crystal is not in place. It's sticking out of the lightsaber. It is damaged. Okay? Pinning that, we'll come back to it in a moment. She's now going to give a speech. May is going to do another face turn and say, I want him to go before everybody in the Old Republic, almost said New Republic, Old Republic, and admit his crimes. You need to admit your crime. I didn't do anything wrong. You need to admit your crime. I didn't do anything wrong. I demand the truth. You can't handle the truth. She wants him to do that's basically what you have here. She keeps needling him, saying, you murdered my mother, admit the truth. You killed my mother, admit the truth. Master Squid Game keeps doing the right thing and explaining the situation as the Jedi saw it. It was a righteous kill, but no, she has to make him say, I killed your mother. just as Osha arrives. And then Macon goes, see, look, I told you he was lying. And then Osha will go, you lied to me. You lied to me. I tried to tell you all these times, but here's his explanation now for why he's doing all of this here. Master Squid Game is bringing everybody here, knowing that they're all going to use fast travel, because during the battle, I have to say this, during the battle, Master Leslie Headland's wife's ship was spotted during the battle, looking for a place to land. So everybody's here so that he can prove there's a version in the Force that was used to create May-Osha, or Osha May, if you want to go by the soap joke, Osha May, which was one person and then split into two. He explains all of that. And that they're all here so that he can prove it to the Jedi and show everybody what's going on why they had to stop the lesbian witches from practicing dark side alchemy and making life from the Force. He brought it, so that's his whole thing. And what happens? Osha says, you killed my mother. You lied to me. And she picks up his lightsaber. And then she fulfills Darth Zipperface's prophecy of killing without using a weapon. It's almost as if we all said way back in the beginning of this god-awful series, why not just force choke somebody? Oh, well, guess what? She starts to force choke Master Squid Game, and he just lets it happen. He just lets... It's not as though he's a Jedi Master and she has barely any training that he could just force block her. No, he's just going to let it happen because I guess Asian guilt. He's not a white guy, so we can't say white guilt, but I guess Asian guilt. And she's going to force choke him. And as she's doing it, here comes some more Disney bastardization. Bleeding a kyber crystal. In real Star Wars, there are just colored crystals. In Knights of the Old Republic, they tried to have meaning that a colored crystal signified your job, your class in a Jedi, but that was a video game thing. Moving on from that, colored crystals have no meaning. They're just colored crystals. It doesn't mean, outside of the Jedi have many colors, and the Sith use red. Occasionally the Sith will use purple, but they mostly use red. And you can find the crystals, and you can make synthetic crystals. You can make a synthetic crystal. It's a thing. But no, in Disney Star Wars, once they took over the brand, they created a concept called bleeding the crystal, where when a dark side user murders a Jedi, they corrupt a kyber crystal and turn it from its base color to red, i.e. bleeding it. So you're now watching as the broken lightsaber in Osha's hand is touching her skin. You could see the kyber crystal touching her, and she's bleeding it. Disney stands are fingering themselves all over the place with this. Every orifice they can find. They are doing it because this is their wet dream come true. Oh my God, live action crystal bleeding. Oh my God, look at the thing. It's not a thing. This is fanfic bullshit. And it's even worse because as she's doing it, she ignites after she kills Saul. She kills Saul. She force chokes him to death. He says it's okay, and it's boom. She kills him with a force choke. And then here comes Darth Zipperface, and I showed you this in the opening to the review. He touches her, and she reacts, and she ignites the lightsaber, and then you see it happen. She literally Vaders right before your eyes. But there's a problem. Remember I said let's put a pin in this and come back to it? The lightsaber's broken! The emitter is broken. The crystal has been dislodged from its place inside the lightsaber, in the casing. It's touching. You can't ignite a lightsaber if, one, the crystal is not plugged into the power source, and two, if there's no emitter to shape the beam. This whole situation is impossible. One, because it's crap Disney bullshit about bleeding a lightsaber crystal, bleeding crystal. That's bullshit. Doesn't exist in real Star Wars. And then two, that lightsaber can't work. It cannot work. It cannot function. It's been damaged. It needs to be fixed. But it doesn't matter because you have to see Osha Vader. And then, of course, it's steaming. The blade is actually steaming. Why? I don't know. Make it make sense. I beg you. So she has turned to the dark side. Is she even Sith, though? I don't know, because I haven't seen a Sith in this episode. And no, Darth Plagueis don't count, because it's not Darth Plagueis. I haven't seen any Sith in this episode. So she's dark side now. Master Darth Zipperface, he F's off. He vanishes. And then Osha and May are reunited. Now they're on the same page. Now Osha's evil. May is evil. They're going to run off. May's going to say, follow me. I can get us out of here. Meanwhile, Master Leslie Headland's wife has landed, and suddenly she sets foot on the planet. And she senses everything. She knows everything that's going on instantly. And says, let's head to Vagina Complex. They're going to get there. They're going to arrive. And Osha and May are now going to go out the way May came in. And as they go back, they climb down the pit that May fell through back in the flashback. And they have the nerve to have her say, as I was falling, I fell into this air tube. Yeah, let's just let's just butcher some Empire Strikes Back again. Luke falling through Cloud City into the trash chute. Let's just do that again, shall we? And they have it. It's just disrespectful. It's not clever. It's disrespectful. So back in the courtyard, Master Leslie Headland's wife is going to send everybody out to look for what's going on, because she knows everything going on. Because as she's in there, she's reliving the events of 16 years ago. So she now knows everything that went on. She knows that the Jedi acted in self-defense. She knows that the lesbian witches were the aggressors, were the instigators. She knows it all. She's going to go over to Saul's dead body, and while she's leaning over him, whispering, "I'm sorry, my friend," as we learn later, there's Darth Zipperface watching her, and we now get the confirmation. We got it when she landed. It's you. She knows he's there. He is her former Padawan. Darth Zipperface was a Jedi Padawan, okay? And the lashes across his back clearly are from her, and she mentions he went evil. She knows he's there. She even looks up to where he was. She knows he's there. She knows the events on Bendok. She knows that there are essentially dark side users, maybe even Sith. She knows the Jedi did nothing wrong on Bendok. But now she's going to be pushing the cover up. We'll get to that at the end. Osha and May end up at the tree where they had their little spat 2 flashbacks ago. And they're going to hug and cry it out. That's right. They're going to hug and cry it out. And in this moment, this entire scene is so that we can feel sorry for them. Why? They've done nothing but murder and kill and be bad people for 8 episodes. That's all they've done. Meanwhile, though, we have to remark, the Jedi are hunting. They've got Basil on their side. British and Gay is making sure that Basil is part of the party early on, and now they're using Basil to sniff them all out. Wait a minute! But Basil made sure the Jedi couldn't capture May before. Make it make sense. Why is Basil helping them now? But he didn't help Master Squid Game when he knows exactly what's going on. No explanation. Basil's going to help them track them down. So, Osha and May are having their cry fest when Darth Zipperface shows up and says, "We have to go." Osha says, "No, I'm not going to, we can't be separated." Well, it's a very stupid conversation that ends up in Osha saying, "We need to let May go. I'll be your apprentice. Since I'm full on dark side now, I'll be your apprentice." And he goes, "Okay." And they all of them agree that they have to mind wipe May. So they start doing the stupid rhyme, 2 is 1, 1 is me, you are me. They start doing that, and they have the stupid line of, Osha goes, "I thought you made this up." "I didn't make it up. I thought you made it up." It just comes from them. No one taught it to them. It's just their little weird rhyme, who they are. So they wipe May's memory all the way back to when she's 8 years old. Just whoop, wiped. How? I don't know. It just happens in the Force. So then Osha and Darth Zipperface run off, and the other Jedi arrive, and they pick up May. What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. Now, let's just put a bow on this, shall we? We arrive at Coruscant. Maybe it's only an hour later because fast travel, we're there. May is being escorted to Master Leslie Headland's wife. And here we go. We have now a cut back and forth between two scenes involving Master Leslie Headland's wife, May, and Master Leslie Headland's wife, and a small meeting of some senators and the current chancellor and the dude who hates all the Jedi. She gives this speech about how she's sorry that May got caught up in this, and she's going to make it right, and she needs May's help to find someone who's evil. So once again, reconfirming, Master Leslie Headland's wife knows everything that went down. Everything that went down. The cover-up now begins with her. We were all wrong. Ki-Adi-Mundi, he was just there for window dressing way back when. He was a red herring. Because it now starts with her, and it's about to get worse, because she goes to the Senate committee, and she is now going to willingly put it all on Master Squid Game. He was a rogue Jedi. He killed everybody to keep his crime covered up. She willingly lies to cover up this entire incident, knowing that there are dark side users out there, possibly Sith. Doesn't have to be named Sith. It's enough to say these are dark Jedi, at least dark Jedi. She knows it, that Osha's gone with Darth Zipperface, who she knows is her former Padawan. She knows the events on Bendoc as they actually transpired, but she lays it all at the feet of Master Squid Game. He's at fault, so that she can tell everybody, we're under control, we're gonna take care of it. And of course, now the senator and all the people keep saying, oh, you're all bad, you're bad. How can you possibly do this? We need regulation on the Jedi. Here's where it gets the worst. So first, we have to cut to Unknown Planet. Unknown Planet, Osha and Darth Zipperface are now going to begin their training, and we know Darth Plagueis is there. Master Leslie Headland's wife will now arrive at a door. She's going to open a door, and she's going to go, Master, I'm sorry to take up your time. And then it's going to pan down. Oh, look, it's Yoda. That's right. Yoda. We speculated way, way back at the beginning of this season, will they bring in Yoda? Will they put Yoda under the bus? Will they throw him under the bus? Will they put Yoda as part of this cover-up? And there it is. There are those out there right now on social media telling everybody the Acolyte makes sense. It doesn't ruin George Lucas's Star Wars at all. All the hateful nerds, all the bad actors, all the toxic nerds, they were wrong for attacking this and review bombing. They were wrong because, look, it all ties up. Do you not understand that by having Yoda present here in this moment, where she's going to say, I have a lot to tell you. I have to tell you all this stuff. Yoda is now complicit in the cover-up. It doesn't matter if he didn't see the Sith or they didn't actually see the Sith. She knows everything going on. Master Leslie Headland's wife is about to tell Yoda everything, every single inch of the cover-up, and Yoda is going to go along with it according to Disney Star Wars. And if you get all the way to the prequel trilogy, he's covering it up. Do you realize you just made Yoda a villain? Jedi are villains in Disney Star Wars because they actively covered up crimes. They actively changed history. They actively pretended what happened didn't happen. That is the problem. This is why this is wrong. And if you can't understand that, you have a problem. And I'm going to tell us right now, get the hell out of my fandom. Get out of Star Wars. Because you are not a fan. You are a fake fan. But that's it. We're done. Is this over? Is the end? Who knows? We'll see. Because guess what? Renee the Acolyte.
Sorry to disturb you, Master. We need to talk.
We're done. We finished. We survived. Maybe I survived. I might be a little crazier. Who knows? Only you guys can really maybe tell the difference if I truly lost my mind. But there it is. I think I made my case throughout this review. They broke lore. They put in Darth Plagueis. They've destroyed his entire identity as a mastermind of creating life in the Force. They've connected his whole research to being influenced by lesbian witches. Because if Osha and Darth Zipperface return there and he's there, that means he's inspired by the events of lesbian witches creating life in the Force. He didn't just come on it himself. He didn't just have the desire, the need all on his own. He borrowed from their research, basically. So Darth Plagueis loses his agency. And then Yoda. They throw Yoda under the bus. They make him complicit in the cover-up to make it look like nothing ever happened. Ki-Adi-Mundi, he doesn't know what happened. He was a red herring. It all goes right to Yoda. They have to make you feel like the Jedi are bad guys. And they want you to be sympathetic to the bad guys. They want you to feel like they spend all this time in this show trying to make you sympathetic to Osha and May. That, oh my God, these Jedi did these horrible things to them. They have a right to be evil. Darth Zipperface, he got lashed by Darth Leslie Headland's wife. Master Leslie Headland's wife. She might as well be a Darth. Master Leslie Headland's wife. He's rightfully gone evil. They try to make it so that these bad guys have legitimate reason to be evil, but when you strip all the warped perception away, the Jedi do nothing wrong. They act within the purview, within the perspective, with the evidence at hand as necessary. And they break all kinds of lore, the crystal bleeding, I've been over it. Nothing about this works. It's a mishmash of shit. This story, what was this story supposed to be? It was supposed to be a story about Sith. I didn't see Sith anywhere. I saw a bunch of people running around being stupid and retarded, being the worst possible versions of everything. I mean, that's part of it. This show shows that the Jedi are incompetent. They're idiots. They're dumb. And they need to be controlled because they're reckless and crazy. And oh no, eventually everything they're going to do is going to lead to their own downfall because they can't control their emotions. And someone's not going to be able to control their emotions. And he, not a woman, he is going to destroy everything because they let you know, oh, Leslie Headland's wife, she can control her emotions, but a man's going to lose control. It's going to destroy everything. That's this show. Incoherent. Poorly written, poorly choreographed, horrendously acted. There is nothing redeeming about this show. It's terrible. And I hope in these past 6 weeks, because it started with 2. In these past 6 weeks, I have proven it over and over again, and I'm going to take some time to do it again. Thursday, July 18th, 9 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to host a stream. We're going to do a post-mortem of the entire series. That's right. We're going to autopsy this dreadful show. I hope you'll be there. Again, 9 p.m. Eastern. Whether you're watching it live or on a replay, it'll still be up. It's going to be evergreen. Come join me and some others as we rip this entire thing apart. We're going to go over the whole thing, show how it doesn't make sense from beginning to end. Because it doesn't. Disney Star Wars is trash. It's not real. It isn't Star Wars. And once and for all, I think we prove it. So thank you for watching this entire review series. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel. I'm here to earn your trust and support. There's lots to do here, and I hope you had a good time. So until next time, guys, take it easy. And may the Force be with you. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, check out my gaming channel at Renaissance Nerd Arcade, and follow me on X Twitter under @TheRedNerd. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.